Now to a One Detroit special report on a deadline for so-called dreamers that has come and gone. March 5th was supposed to be the end of the DACA program, according to President Trump. But court decisions have forced the administration to keep issuing renewals. Just this week, President Trump says he wants a DACA fix, but he can't get Democrats on board. While politics play out in Washington, there are about 6,700 DACA recipients in Michigan, 700,000 nationwide, who have jobs, pay taxes, are going to school, and are making a life here. But it's an uncertain life. I met up with Juan Gonzalez last week, who is a dreamer and has become a vocal leader for change. He admits the last 6 months haven't been easy. Tell me about the T-shirt.
We met Juan Gonzalez on his lunch hour downtown. He's an underwriter with Quicken Loans, age 24, a DACA recipient who came to the U.S. at the age of 1, undocumented.
When Trump was elected, I knew I had to do something different, and it was actually when the first Muslim ban was shot down in court that I became determined that I want to be, a part of the judicial branch. I want to be in the judicial system. So I started going back to school.
Gonzalez now wants to be a lawyer. He's full-time at Wayne State University while working the loans and fighting for DACA.
Juan Gonzalez. Thank you, sir.
Southwest Detroit last September, a protest just days after President Trump called for the end of DACA. Gonzalez was one of just a few DACA recipients to pick up the microphone.
With DACA, I was able to get a job, buy a house, buy a car, go to school full-time, work full-time. It's been a great time, honestly. It's been marvelous. But now that's all in danger.
President Trump had set a 6-month deadline for Congress to replace President Obama's 2012 DACA order with a DACA law Trump could sign.
So now it's up to us to push Congress to actually pass something. It's up to us to stand up. It's not just retweets and liking things on Facebook. We have to come out and do this. We have to scream. We have to yell.
We've always kept under the ropes. We've stayed in the shadows. And so on top of the fact that we're being faced with deportation soon and there's a spotlight on me now, it's a little bit, frightening, but I mean, someone has to speak out. Our stories have to be heard, and if you don't speak out, it's obviously gonna remain,
Have people said, Juan, stop talking, like you're gonna get yourself into trouble, or are they saying, thanks for talking because I don't feel like I can. I don't feel like I can speak out?
They tell me to keep going, to never stop fighting, and especially for something that I believe in this passionately and this strongly about. I mean, I've received no negative feedback from anyone. They've told me just keep going.
Gonzalez and other activists are now trying to keep DACA in the headlines. Trump's deadline lapsed this week, but now Congress has more time to act because federal courts stopped President Trump from shutting DACA down. So DACA remains alive, for now.
Since the Supreme Court decision, has there been a sigh of relief for you that that March 5th deadline now doesn't have the weight that it did have?
It definitely opens up my options in terms of time. Now I can extend my work permit, have another 2 years, but it's still only temporary. What happens if within a week Trump says, oh, I'm reversing DACA on these terms, and then it has to go to court again, this whole prolonged legal battle that's, it leaves us in the air, leaves us in limbo still. So we're technically still in the same spot. So.
Of concern, Trump can change deportation rules to include DACA recipients. U of D Mercy law professor Andrew Moore says those with DACA need to avoid encounters with the authorities and be careful to not do anything that might blemish a clean criminal record.
Now it seems the Trump administration is trying to use any explanation they can find for someone who's currently in DACA to revoke it. So although the March 5th deadline is now, I think, suspended, still the Trump administration is doing their very best to try and get as many of these folks out of DACA and therefore out of the country.
I'm afraid, yes.
29-year-old DACA recipient Analine Morales came from Mexico at age 14 to live with her mother in Pontiac. She says DACA changed her life 6 years ago. She could drive and get a job without fear. Now the uncertainty from the president is taking its toll.
One day I'm okay saying, I'm gonna be okay, everything is gonna be okay, nothing is gonna happen. I go to sleep without knowing if tomorrow he's gonna say, you know what, please look for every single DACA student and we're gonna do something with them.
At Oakland Community College in Auburn Hills, Morales was president of the student government last year. Now she wants to study journalism and political science at Michigan State University.
It's very sad because they're playing with us. They playing with our lives. and it's not okay. Back in September, President Trump said that he needed a clean DREAM Act. Till now, he's not doing anything. He haven't done anything because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He hasn't been in our shoes to really feel our pain.
What's the plan for you now for the next couple of months? Where does it go from here?
Stay active, keep demanding a clean DREAM Act. I don't dictate my plans around what someone else is gonna do. I dictate on what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep fighting for the Clean DREAM Act. I'm gonna keep going to school to become a lawyer, and I'm gonna keep working hard at this.
And for more One Detroit special reports on immigration reforms and the processes we do have in place, head to our website at MiWeek.org.